my hair started falling out, which was the biggest thing, because I was running for Miss Teen New Jersey.
Sure.
You know.
And you were doing the final.
Yeah. So it was those things and the tiredness. My dad, my father passed away, and my stepfather, who was Andre Kofi, he was a footballer here, Black Stars. They call him Black Cat. He also played for New York Cosmos.
Okay.
Yeah, Kotoko, Olympics. He did all that. And he loved leather jackets. So he went and he bought me this leather jacket, and I put it like, I couldn't put it on. It was too heavy for me. And I was like, what is going on with me? Because everybody's telling me I'm lazy. I'm just not myself. I couldn't even go up staircases at school. It was hard, and I just knew. At
this time you were how many years old?
16.
16 still?
Yeah,
okay.
16, going on 17. And those were the things I was feeling. And then it got to a point where I'll black out. Like I woke up one morning, it was right before the PSATs, and I just collapsed. And my dad picked me up. He's like, Nalamle, you have this important test. You have to go, try to eat something. And I was able to, try to get myself together, and he drove me to school. And it wasn't so long where, I was hospitalized and they finally gave me a diagnosis. So those are the symptoms and like I said, it's different for everybody. I also used to get these little, these little mouth sores, and also in my nose. I understand some people get it elsewhere, but that's where mine usually come. And then the fevers will start. So it was those symptoms that maybe it could be lupus, but nobody could tell me. They just kept telling me I was anemic. Yeah.
You look really good. At this point, you're on PM Express, and this is a discussion, and I'm sure that you're enjoying it. Enjoying it in a different sense, I mean, because I'm learning quite a bit through this. How common is lupus? How common is it?
Lupus is very common. In America alone, is 1.5 million that suffer from lupus. And it affects all race of people. It's no respecters of persons.
But mostly affects women.
Mostly women, and mostly black women. Women of African descent.
How do you explain that?
If they knew, we would have a cure. They don't know why. Why it attacks more women of African descent? Because when you look at the ratio, African American women or women of African descent are higher than everybody else when you look at the ratio. And they don't know why. It affects women, but it also affects men.
Now, I wish I had a, a better explanation as to why it affects more women. And I read this, and I believe it is out of a research. It says that lupus, which occurs in adult women 10 to 15 times more frequently than in adult men, usually develops between ages 15 to 44, according to the Lupus Foundation of America.
Yeah. As a biologist, and also, I have a minor in health as well. My answer to that is it's hormonal. The childbearing ages, your body goes through changes. But then, what about the fact that it affects men? Men don't go through those type of hormonal things. So it's unknown. It's unknown, but as deadly as the disease is, when a woman gets it, they're able to live better with it. But when men get it, it's very aggressive.
I see.
It tends to right away attack their kidneys. And that's another thing that they have discovered, that when black people get lupus, it likes to get their kidney. It likes to get their kidney, and they don't know why. Because lupus, once the manifestations come and things like that, it likes to attack your organs. Remember, I was talking about the skin.
Yeah.
Your skin is your biggest organ. You understand?
I was reading this about symptoms such as inflammation, swelling, and damage to the joints, the skin, the kidney, blood, the heart, and the lungs. Yeah. Very deadly.
Yeah.
Now, I'll just take a little break from the disease itself and bring a little focus to you that even in this period, you managed to still go through school and get what you wanted to get.
Yeah, I was able to graduate top 10 of my high school.
Great.
And I still had hopes that I could run track again, but later on I learned I had to give it up.
So how easy was it
my God.
living with this disease and going through college?
Sometimes I feel I lost a lot, and then sometimes I feel I gained a lot. See, at the time when the lupus started, I was taken out of high school. I was homeschooled, and for about a year.
You were taken out of high school, and you say you were homeschooled.
Yeah.
Okay. Here in Ghana, we are not too familiar with homeschooled.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, homeschooling, teachers will come. They have ways where if somebody gets pregnant or somebody gets sick in America, that they will send teachers to your house to teach you the courses so you could keep up with the rest of the people at school. So when you return, you'll be
at par.
The same place as everybody else. You won't be left behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, you are taking home so that your teachers come home to teach you.
Yeah.
Because why? You get fatigued easily, and because the disease attacks you, you are unable to act like your normal friends.
That and the fact that my immune system was very low, and they didn't want me to catch colds because I would not be able to fight it off normally like everybody else. So they just wanted to protect me. So that's why my doctors, suggested that I be put on home instruction.
Tell me about what the statistics say about lupus in Africa.
That's why the importance of the Alliance of Hope for Lupus come in. In our culture, when a person is sick and there's no name for it, it's witchcraft.
Exactly.
Lupus is a disease that has been here, and I'm sure they've given it all types of names besides witchcraft. When I got diagnosed, I knew the steps that my family took, the prayers. My mom would just fly me to Ghana, thousands of dollars on a ticket just for me to go see pastors and things like that, even though I was being treated medically. Because it's witchcraft. You understand what I'm saying?
Does that explain why, for example, you said that when they needed to draw blood first, you did not entertain that idea?
Yeah.
Because for religious reasons?
Well, that was for the blood transfusion. I didn't entertain that idea because of that.
Okay.
You don't want anybody else's blood running through you. You don't know who they were, what they did, and things like that. And, after a while, we let go of the witchcraft idea and, just focused on the treatment. But if we're going to talk about that, the amount of money my mother spent, she would have built about 3 mansions by now. Because these pastors, they would just eat your money. We'll pray for your daughter, she'll be healed. Bring this, bring that, bring that. That's all we went through every trip to Ghana. So I hated coming to Ghana.
Commercialization of the gospel, very unfortunate.
Yeah. I hated coming to Ghana because of that, But, time went by, we were able to cope with it. I wrote an article for Face to Face Africa talking about lupus. They contacted me, I wrote them an article, and South Africa, people in South Africa read, and they responded, they were saying, this lupus disease, we've been told we have it here, but they're not educating us about how to live with the disease. We don't know what it's really about.
So it's very possible that many people may be living with it here in Ghana and are not aware.
And not know.
May have given it some other name, like you said. There's some
treating the symptoms and things, and they're giving it all types of names, but really haven't gotten a proper diagnosis. So, you know, we want to know, they want to know more because, and I checked the statistics in South Africa, but it was old. They did a statistics in South Africa, it was old. And in South Africa, it was damaging their kidneys. The Journal of Rheumatology, you know, the fact stated that it was damaging their kidneys. Like I told you, it likes to attack your organs. And I think they did the test like sometime in 2007. We're 2012. So it's not being focused on like it should, especially in the countries of Africa. So this girl was like, you know, she wants to know more about it and things like that. And like I said, I'm an advocate. I speak in front of crowds, you know, talking about lupus, what it's done and things like that. So I wrote back to her and I was like, you know, it is my dream to one day come to South Africa, but in the process of doing that, I'm going to be launching an organization because some people, when they're ill, they don't want to know what's wrong with them. I'll die anyway, so what? You understand what I'm saying? But the Alliance of Hope will teach the importance of knowing what's wrong with you, because knowing can prolong your life.
That's true.
You understand? Because when you have lupus, there's certain things you shouldn't do. Drinking, being out in the sun, because every lupus patient is sensitive to the sun.
You have been talking about treatments.
Yeah.
Is that to say that there's no cure for it?
There's no cure for lupus as of now. There's only these steroids that usually make you big, anti-malarial drugs. They call it a group of immunosuppressants to suppress your immune system because it's overactive. And that's all they have. But after 40 years of researching, they finally came up with a drug. It's called Benlysta. $35,000.
Wow.
Could you imagine what Ama or Kofi is going through in Ghana, and stricken by poverty? They cannot go to the hospital to get a proper diagnosis or even be able to afford medication. I've been on that drug 3 times, but it's not working for me.
I see.
Because for some reason, I think when they were making it, they didn't have us in mind. You understand? It's working for Caucasians, the Chinese, everybody else, but women of black descent. It's not working for us. They don't know what's in the DNA that's causing it not to link to us, to help us. They don't know.
So how do you treat yours?
Well, as you know, you read about me and you saw some pictures. I was a little bigger.
Yes.
I was on steroids for a very long time, for about 11 years. Then I stopped. I said I would no longer take it because I went through changes that I didn't like, you know, the bloating and things. I would look in the mirror and didn't know who I was. Like, is this really Judith? People would see me, and I remember when I went back to school, it was so traumatic. I was sitting in class and this girl came and she was like, you know, you look like a girl named Judith. She used to go to school here. Could you be her cousin?
I see.
And I'm like, I am Judith. And then I had this experience where this guy that had a crush on me, it was like, he came to my friend, we were standing at the lockers and he goes, we called him Turtle, that was his nickname. It was like, yo, Siobhan, we haven't seen Judith in a minute, yo. Where's she at? And Siobhan was like, she's standing right there. He was like, damn, son. What happened to you? You know how Americans, you know how we go, we're dramatic.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Did you get stung by a mosquito or a bee or something? I was like, and it was just so depressing.
I'm sure that you have been following and learning about lupus. Now, we want to talk about the treatment. As you know, there's no cure for it. We want to talk about the treatment, and you have heard about the symptoms also, so you can begin to want to see a doctor if you have discovered that you're growing fatigue so easily, you're getting pains in your joints so easily, you feel that there's some attack going on in your lungs, your kidney.